How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Abundant Lifestyle Family and Formula LiveCast. Give me just 1 second here. I got to find something real quick, and then we'll get ready to go. Okay, let's see here. What do you got here?
It's protein shake.
Okay, I just got to download this real quick. Study guide for tonight. Let's see here. Open up. Okay. Okay. Right as I'm ready to go. Okay. Sorry, I just had a team member messaging me. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. Let me get this camera turned on. You guys scoot over a little bit. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So tonight we're talking about something incredibly important, and I definitely feel that it's the number one reason why people that are in business for themselves ultimately fail. Even if they're taking all of the actions that they think that they need to be taking to actually accomplish and achieve something, even if they're working every single day towards their goals, even if they're seeing themselves doing whatever it is that they'd like to be doing, say it's signing a big team, or maybe doing well at a sport, or it really doesn't matter. What we're going to be talking about tonight is the reason that either makes or breaks what it is that you're after. So what I'm talking about here is your beliefs in whatever it is that you're doing. Let's just take a sport. I play ice hockey, so we'll take that. And let's just say that our goal is to win, right? Well, if our goal is to win, first I have to believe in the team that's around me, right? I have to believe that the other players that are around me are going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing, so that I can actually, so that we can actually be victorious at the end. I got to believe in individual players, such as maybe the goalie. I need to believe that he's going to do his job back in the net, so that we can do what we need to do up front. I need to believe in my own abilities, right? I need to believe in my own abilities to actually score and provide defense. And so it really breaks down. Hey, Jen.
Hey.
I don't see you. You're.
Let me try to reconnect it.
It might be your camera.
I can hardly hear you either. So that's.
It's because I'm using this thing. Also, I'm going to. I'm just going to keep going while you figure your thing out. So, a lot of you guys that are watching this now, you may be in some type of MLM or network marketing, and your beliefs are controlling everything that you're doing. They're also controlling the outcomes that you're having. And so that's what we're going to go over tonight, and that's what we're really going to be targeting really hard first. And it's really what you should target first in anything that you're doing, because if your beliefs and your goals are not in alignment, even though it could feel like you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, yet you're not getting the results that you're after. And this is absolutely the number one reason why almost everybody in the industry fails because their beliefs are not in alignment with their actions and their goals. So let's start. What do you think about all that?
I actually have a quick story about that, and it's relating to Jen, who just hopped on the webinar. Jen, do you remember that conversation we had? What was it, like a week ago, about beliefs and actions?
Absolutely, I do.
Absolutely, she does. Okay, so
I'm gonna go get that speaker.
really quickly, while Jed is grabbing the speaker, I'm going to share with you a quick story. And I've been doing a lot of researching and finding out for myself what life is about and the meaning of it and all that. And what I have come to understand about the mind, and one thing about the mind, is that your beliefs and your actions have to be in alignment in order for the results to come about the way that you want them to. So what Jen and I were talking about last week was the fact that she's in Vegas right now staying with her sister, and she needs to find a way to produce income while she's down there. She's visiting, she's staying for a little while, but she still has bills over here in Denver, Colorado. And so her belief was that she needed to go get a job in order to make money so that she could pay her bills back here. And but her feeling place, her heart told her that she doesn't want to go get a job, right? She's there to stay for a little while, but it's not like a really long-term thing. So inside she had an internal conflict. How am I going to make money if I don't get a job? I can't pay my things, this and that, right? So it creates confusion on the inside, because you're telling yourself you have to do something to get a result, but you don't want to do the thing to get the result that you want. So you have to align your beliefs and your actions to get the result that you want. So let's say she just changed her belief up and she started believing that a job was not the only way she can make money. You know, she can make money some other way. So then you got to use your creativity and your imagination to inspire thought in a new direction as to another way that you can align your belief and your actions to get the result that you want. So basically, yeah, I don't know. How did that help you, Jen?
Wait, let me click this thing off because this is supposed to switch back and tweet. Hello. Okay.
Even though it was something that I knew, it's not something that I was contemplating, you know? And it's really funny that you guys are using the beliefs tonight as your topic, because this is something that I've spent, since we had that conversation, the last week contemplating. And, you know, so much has come out of just that one conversation. There is not enough time to even share over the next hour, you know, what has happened internally for me. But one of the things that I can say is that, you know, our beliefs go so deep and they're so ingrained in us, mostly by what we're taught by our parents. And I've got the fortunate what's the word I'm looking for? Opportunity to be sitting in a position that I am right now, you know, for all of that to be playing out in my life, because, you know, I had to go back based on what we were talking about and look at what were the beliefs that I was taught about beliefs when I was a kid and what I grew up with. And it's not that it's right or wrong, it's just what was taught to me based on what my parents knew. And I've had this situation coming up over the last couple of years with myself and my own daughter. And so this situation gives me a really unique perspective, because I can see it from my mother's point of view, but I can also see it from my daughter's point of view, because I vividly remember being her age and remember how I was operating and what I was thinking based on my belief systems. And now I'm in the unique position of being her mother and watching it play out. And so it's just this really weird glitch in my system that it's really exemplifying. And then being around my sister is exemplifying all those beliefs that I've been buying into. And so over the course of the last week, I've really been pondering if my beliefs are nothing but a habitual thought based on a habitual pattern that was taught to me, or that, you know, I picked up it later on in life as an adult and ran with myself. If I can destroy my life or create poverty or drama or life situations of whatever it is, medical or, you know, a car accident or moving around or whatever the many challenges that I've brought about by my choices of beliefs, I can change that around by simply choosing another belief. And something that I've come into understanding is, you know, also plays into what we were talking about last week about the outcome and jumping completely online or in line with that outcome, and making sure that everything is resonating with that. You know, your emotions, your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs, everything plays into it. It's not just one thing. You have to conjoin them all together, and that's what creates this obsession in your life. It creates this thing of possibilities that just opens up this whole new world of what we can and either we do or we don't want to choose for our lives. And that plays out in every aspect of our life. It doesn't matter what part of it you pick. You know, it's health, it's where we want to live, it's who we want around us, it's, you know, how we want to get up out of bed in the morning and what we're going to eat and, you know, what we're going to drive and what we're going to do with our day each and every day. It's just, it's crazy how expansive just that one thought is. And I'm kind of like going off on a little tangent, but I you know, this whole world.
That's because that's how important it is.
It is. It is absolutely important. And, you know, I came up against this thing today, this opposition of my old belief system, totally in my face. And I just kind of looked at it when it showed up, and I very deliberately chose what I did with it. Instead of just buying into the old habitual belief system and operating on reaction, instead of making a different choice. And, you know, I've been walking around the last week, you know, and I catch myself thinking a thought that is not in line with my goals, and I'm literally cancel, 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 and I reestablish and reaffirm this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, this is who I'm doing it with, and this is how I'm doing it, and damn the torpedoes, because here I come. And that's it.
Well, that's good. That's good that it's finally starting to sink in and take hold and grow roots in your mind, because it's really hard when you're fighting against an entire lifetime of beliefs to shift back to a brand new belief that's just flowering. We're talking about something that's just barely breaking the soil comparative to a granddaddy sequoia sitting right next to you, and the sequoia is taking all the water, right? But the new belief system's still growing.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's so important to challenge those beliefs every day, because what happens is that your unconscious mind takes over and you operate out of that unconscious mind and you don't even know you're doing it.
Yep.
And that's the hardest one to convince that, no, we're doing something different. I mean, I literally sat in the pool today after this situation arose, and it's like, you know what? This is the way it's going to be. I am your commander, and you are going to follow what I tell you to do. And it is. And it's happening. And I just, I cannot even imagine where I'm going to be in a month or a year from now, let alone next week.
Well, if you can't imagine it, then you're probably not going to end up there, and you're going to be right where you're at.
Well, no. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that I know that everything that I'm doing now and my goals, the end result is going to far exceed where I'm even thinking it's going to be, and that's what I'm talking about. So
yeah, definitely. Some of the viewers may be wondering, so what does that have to do with business, and what does that have to do with actually attaining some results in my life? Well, has that switch attained you some results in the direction in which you're headed towards?
Absolutely, it has.
And how fast did the results start coming? It doesn't even matter how big the result is. Like, everybody's always chasing this huge thing, like maybe $1 million, or maybe they just want to make their first $10,000, or whatever that thing may be. But maybe they get that first $10 commission, or maybe they get that first $100 commission, or maybe they get that first $50 commission, or 17 bucks, or whatever it is, and they're like, well, God, it was only 17 bucks. Do you guys realize that most people don't ever make a single dime when they get into an MLM or online marketing business or network marketing business? So the small wins should be shouted from the rooftops just as much as the big ones, because those small wins lead to the big ones, and that's how you know that you're on your path to really achieve.
Well, I was going to add on to that, and the small wins, I feel most of the time happen on the inside, and then they come and they show themselves, present themselves on the outside. So if you can have a revelation, if you can have a breakthrough, if you can release or let go of the things that aren't serving you anymore, the beliefs that aren't serving you anymore, then you can change your unconscious patterns that run your decisions in your daily life, right? Because your unconscious is what programs pretty much everything you see, everything you believe, everything you attract to you in your life. So if you can demand your unconscious to start transforming around the life that you want to create for yourself, that's when you can have the revelations, the breakthroughs. That's when people will notice your transformation and want to follow you. Not even just follow you, but be a part of your team, because they want to be around that energy. They want to be around the energy that's rising up and letting go of the stuff that isn't serving them anymore. And people want to feel that worthiness on the inside, right?
Definitely. A really smart person that we know, his name is Aaron. He always says a rising tide raises all ships. So why not be the rising tide? Why not be that force of change that it doesn't matter if you have one person listening to you or 1,000 people listening to you or whatever that is? Why not blast out this massive positive wave of energy that transforms other people? And a lot of people, they get into this business and it's about the money. It's always about the money when people get into the business. But those that stick around really quickly start to figure out that it really has nothing to do with that, and that it has everything to do with personal growth and development here, and then becoming a servant to everyone around you. If you're vision and your goal isn't something bigger than yourself, you're probably not going to achieve it because it just doesn't have the rocket fuel to get your shuttle into space.
Well, here's the thing. You know, if you go back to where I was sitting a year ago, and I believed in this opportunity, I believed that it was possible, but I struggled and I struggled and I struggled for how I was going to fit into that. And I dealt with self-esteem issues. I dealt with financial issues. I dealt with self-criticism. I dealt with a lack of belief in myself. I dealt with everything that you can imagine and more coming up and getting in my way. And I always had this underlying knowing that this was the answer. I knew it from the beginning.
What is it that caused you to know that?
It's just one of those things that you know when you know you know. It's just, I just knew. I just knew inside. And I didn't know how. I didn't know where. I didn't know what all of the things that were going on was going to happen. Hi, Yazzie. But I knew that if I just stuck with it, that it would work out. And, you know, all of you people that are watching this, you need to understand that everybody is different, and everybody's life challenges are different, and everybody's life growth is unique unto your own. And this is one of those things that doesn't come around very often. And I promise you, and if you know me, you know I don't make promises or take them lightly. But I promise you, if you don't give up on you, that you will come full circle just like I have. And you will realize that you have the ability to do whatever your dreams are, regardless of what they are or who they're with or how it is. You will find a way. And you know, these little things come up as little ideas or insights or revelations or whatever they are. Sometimes they're really big and impactful, and sometimes they're just really small and just that quiet little voice of, hey, maybe you ought to look at this. And I can tell you that the best time to nurture an idea is at its birth.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have an idea, or you have a feeling, or you have an intuition, jump on it and go with it. And don't let go of it until you bring that to full life.
Fruition.
Exactly. Full living color. Because we were meant to be expressive. We were meant to create. And we're social beings. We're meant to be a part of each other's lives. And everybody's got something to bring to the table. We can all learn from everybody around the world. I've always believed this. And I'm just amazed at the direction of where this company's going and where their vision is. And that's it. That's their vision. And each person that they help, then that person goes out and helps somebody else. And that person goes out and helps somebody else to realize that they are the creator of their own world, and they can create anything their hearts desire. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over because beautiful Yazzie has joined us.
Yay!
Hi, Yazzie.
How are you guys?
Good.
Amazing.
How are you?
I'm really good.
Cool.
So tonight we're talking about 6 main core beliefs that are creating all of the results in your life. This is so it's pen and paper time actually. So I'm gonna go through a couple of things and then we're gonna have an open forum conversation.
I want to know how Yazzy's little homework did from last week.
My postcard, my little postcard. It's still sitting on my desk, and I see it every morning.
Awesome.
I need my pen and paper. That's why I look like I'm not here, or maybe you just see my chest and my neck, whatever. Okay. Let me go back to the comfy chair I was in and not in the TV room where everybody else is doing stuff. And so, yeah, I still have it. You can see it's still nice and perky.
Awesome.
It's
Sweet.
still
Oh, I love that.
my marketplace. It makes me smile in the mornings. It's the first thing I do when I go to check my email, because that's the first thing I do while I drink my coffee and finish waking up.
Yeah.
And I do the little visualization, and I imagine what it will be like for my household as they come to interrupt, and for my self. Bethany wants to be famous.
Oh.
Hi there.
Stephanie.
She, how old are you? 4.
4 years old.
Sure.
You're 4.
Awesome.
You're starting this industry pretty young.
What's your favorite thing?
Well, my favorite thing is to sing.
To sing?
Sing. Ooh, pretty.
Will you sing us a little song, Stephanie?
It's Bethany. Dad called her.
Oh, Bethany, I'm sorry.
That's okay. She's gone. Yeah, she's gone. Dad called her.
She had her 2 minutes of fame.
Yep, she's happy now.
I got a feeling she'll be back.
Oh, a lot. You'll see her a
They
lot.
all come back.
So I do kind of start my day with this, and I ask myself the question. I don't even have to flip over the card anymore.
It's starting to become ingrained, right?
Yeah, and sometimes when I'm walking around going, what was I doing? I go, oh, right, hang on. How can I add value? And that's kind of how I carry through the day. The result has been that I've been engulfed and drowning in education. I've been educating myself a lot. So I spent all of my time studying. That's apparently how I could bring value, is by studying.
Well, so in the book Think and Grow Rich, it says, well, if you guys watching haven't read the book or don't have any idea what I'm talking about, I just highly suggest that you do, because Napoleon Hill was the author, and he followed Andrew Carnegie, and if you don't know who Carnegie is, just do a little bit of research and you'll be pleasantly surprised at Carnegie's story. But he just kind of followed around the 500 most wealthy people of his time for 20 years. I believe it was 20 years.
25 years.
Yeah, 25?
Wow.
Okay, so the question that he was always consistently asking is, what are you doing to create this success in your life? What are you doing? I'm writing a book about it. What are you doing? Tell me. And then he spent a couple of decades, 2.5 decades, figuring out what they were doing, writing it down in an actionable plan, and then release the book to the world. So anyway, in there, it talks about, what was I talking about?
Studying. You were talking about studying.
Well, I was just trying to think of how many years, and then I lost what I was saying. So yeah, studying. Okay.
That's how I can add value.
I'm back. Specialized knowledge. Now, there's 2 different types of knowledge. A lot of people think that knowledge is power, but it's not. It's not, because there's 2 different types of knowledge. One is general knowledge, like we all know that the sky is blue. We all know how to add some numbers together mathematically. We all know that we breathe oxygen and stuff like that, right? That's just general knowledge. That's not going to make you a wealthy individual. What is going to make you a wealthy individual is specialized knowledge. And the reason that specialized knowledge will make you a wealthy individual is when you decide to master something, whatever that is. Say you love gardening. Say you love teaching. Say you love ice hockey. I love ice hockey. Say you like snowboarding. Say whatever that is, whatever thing that is, network marketing, MLM. If you do not get the proper education and become specialized, you will not succeed. You just won't. That would be like getting in the kitchen without the specialized knowledge that Jen went through to get her cooking degree, and they say, make this crazy thing. Jen, name a crazy thing that you would never be able to make without specialized knowledge.
God, I just had this like flood of dishes come in my head. Creme brulee. Creme brulee.
Creme brulee?
Brulee.
It's funny, that's the one that I was thinking, so you picked up on it. It really was. So creme brulee. If you were to say to just some person who's like, yeah, I love to cook, I know how to cook pretty well, you're like, sweet, make creme brulee. We're going to put it into a contest for creme brulees across the, let's just say across the United States. If you win the contest, you win $1 million. That person does not have a chance in hell, do they?
Not if they don't go figure out how to make it and then make it well.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about here. So specialized knowledge, this brings it back and full circle to you educating yourself right now with the education that is specialized, and not only specialized, but absolutely necessary to achieve what you're after, right?
Yep.
Then to apply it too is.
That's next.
Yeah.
So learning is one thing. Learning the specialized knowledge is one thing. Doing something with it is entirely different. Back to the creme brulee. If I ask you to make me a creme brulee, Jen, you could probably say, no problem, right?
Yep.
Now, what if I said, I'm going to pay you $20,000 to bring creme brulee to my retreat down in Costa Rica when we do it? That's coming up, by the way. And then you were like, no problem. I have the ability to make 20 grand right now. I have that ability. I will absolutely do it. But then some other stuff comes up, and then maybe next week happens and you still haven't gotten around to planning for it. And then a couple months down the road, we're all sitting down in Costa Rica at the Marriott's retreat, and I'm like, hey, Jen, where's the creme brulees? And you're like, oh, God, you know, I didn't make any. And I'm like, well, shit, why not? I got $20,000 in this bag for you right now. Missed opportunity, even though you have this specialized knowledge, right? So that's what brings it back to our belief systems. Maybe for some reason or another, Jen didn't believe that she would actually make 20 grand to make creme brulees. Maybe for some reason you don't believe at the core level. I thought my computer was about to go down. It's just my, yeah, it's just that part. Maybe at your core you don't believe in your own abilities to go out and get sales and to get reps and to connect with people. Maybe, so I know a guy, and this guy, he makes a lot of money, but he doesn't want to make too much money. He doesn't want to make too much money because he thinks that you'll be greedy if you make too much money. And if you're greedy, you're a bad person. And so I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, well, why don't you want to make a bunch of money? Like, why don't you want to make more? He's like, well, if you make too much, you're just being greedy. Okay, well, this is a belief about money itself. Do you expect to be able to sign reps into your business, whatever that is, if you have a weird belief like that? Probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. Do you expect to hit the results and the levels if you don't believe in maybe your own abilities to maybe drive traffic to your offer, to convert from just looky-loos to somebody who's actually interested? Maybe you don't believe in your abilities to make a connection with those people. Now we have a problem. Now we have multiple disconnects. So let's say your goal is you want to make such and such amount of money and you want to have a team of such and such. But when we unpack your beliefs, we come to find out that you're not in alignment with what it is you're after, and maybe you're working your ass off every day. Maybe you're working super hard and it just isn't working for you. Your beliefs are probably why. So, belief number 1. This is where the pen and paper comes in hand. What do I believe about the company I work for or am promoting? What do I believe about that company? And these are to answer on your own. What do I believe about the product or the service the company has to offer? That's number 2.
Make sure they can have enough time to write.
Oh yeah, I probably speak a lot faster than people write.
So repeat number 1 again.
Okay, so number 1, what do you believe about the company that you're working for or with? Do you believe they're a good company? Do you believe that maybe they just do some things that you don't agree with? And those types of things, I've worked for other companies before that could have been wildly successful, but I just didn't believe in the way they were being managed, so I kind of just worked less. And then the next day I kind of worked a little less. And even though I believed in the company and what they had to offer, there was just some disconnect. So the point we're getting at is that your beliefs start to take hold and cause you to take actions. Now, they may cause you to take actions in a really good, positive way, or they may cause you to take actions in a negative way. But either way, your beliefs are causing your actions. So belief number 1, what do you believe about the company that you're working with or for? Belief number 2, what do you believe about the product or the service the company has to offer? So maybe they're a great company, but maybe they're just selling some weird bar of soap or something that you just really don't care about. Maybe they're selling, there was a dog food MLM, right? I mean, there's a weed MLM. It's crazy. There's all kinds of different MLMs, and what if you're not in alignment with what they're offering? Then you're probably not going to take actions towards what it is that the company is offering. Or maybe the service. Maybe it's not a product. Maybe the company offers a service. Do you believe in the service? Do you believe the service actually helps people or hurts people? Because if they're offering a service and you actually don't believe in the service, you're probably not going to try to sell it as much, right?
If it's just for the money and it's not in alignment with who you truly are, then somehow you're going to self-sabotage, and you're not going to make the money that you went there to make in the first place, because you're going to sabotage somehow unless you're in alignment with your beliefs and your actions towards your company, the product, and what else he's going to talk about.
So next, what do you believe about the team around you that helps deliver that product or service? Here's an example. I was working with a solar company, and that solar company, solar's awesome, right? Solar has the potential to completely transform the way that we consume energy on this planet, the way that we might not even have to pay for energy anymore, right? So solar, awesome, awesome, awesome. But it just so happened that the company was kind of mismanaging its funds, and all of a sudden we were out there trying to sell solar panels that weren't in the warehouse, right? So what do you think that did to it? When I learned that, what do you think I did? Do you think I went and tried to sell more?
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Even though I believed in pieces of this puzzle that we're crafting right now. What?
What's in this?
Oh, hey, make sure to mute yourself, Jen. Here, I'm just going to do it for her. Yeah. Okay. So what do you believe about the team of people around you that are there to help you deliver whatever it is that you're offering? Service, product, whatever. What do you believe about that team? That's number 3. Number 4, what do you believe about your own personal skills to deliver that service or product that the company has to offer. This is the big one. What do you believe about your own skills? Remember, we are talking about general knowledge versus specialized knowledge. How much have you actually accrued specialized knowledge to sell whatever product or service that you're offering? Because if you haven't, you're probably not doing very well. And if you're not doing very well, it's simply just because you haven't learned the education needed to do well. We have plenty of examples of average, everyday people that have just skyrocketed online or in network marketing companies, traditional network MLMs, stuff like that, who have gone from nothing to millions. How did they do it? Specialized knowledge. Am I going at an okay speed? Has he?
Yes. Sorry, my button didn't work. Yes.
We all forget about that button sometimes.
That's okay. Let's see. Gotta go right back where I was, sorry.
It's fun watching you look at your computer thinking about it.
Yeah.
You can see the wheels turning.
Yeah.
just making sure I'm staying on point, you know. I gotta go check my little cheat sheet real quick.
Oh, you actually stayed in the outline.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. We kind of already went over this one, but what do you believe about money? What do you believe about money? In the example of my friend who had a weird belief about money, he probably, even though he's in an industry that he could literally make $1 million a year, $10 million a year, he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
My screen keeps wobbling around, but it's not the base, it's just the screen itself. I think it's time to manifest a new one.
Yeah.
So he took self-sabotaging actions, like maybe he just didn't hire more salespeople because he felt that you're greedy if you make a lot of money, and if you're greedy, you're a bad person, right? Well, that doesn't make sense to me because I know a lot of people that make a lot of money and they do crazy things like go out into the world, different countries, and dig wells, right? That's not cheap. It's like 55 grand just to go dig a well in another country. And I know that because I asked them. I know people that used to, well, still do, go build villages in Taiwan, right? Well, that takes resources. And I don't think those are bad people at all. But they make a lot of money. But they don't hang on to all of it. Just because you make a lot doesn't mean you have to keep it all. Go make $10 million and give $9 million of it to a charity. And then go do it again, right?
What I've heard from somebody who's made almost $1 million online, somebody in our company, he said that money, the more money you have, the more it just amplifies who you really are. So that's where you also want to be in alignment with who you really are when you make money. Otherwise, you could be making it for the wrong reasons and becoming somebody you don't even really know.
So as you're taking a look at these, can you start to see some places where you might have some disconnects? Because, well, that's amazing. That means you're on the right track. That's good. Because when I look at mine, I don't have any disconnects there anymore. And guess what? I started making money after the disconnects went away. That's why we wanted to do this webinar on this, because it's that important. It's every strong skyscraper must be built on a massively strong foundation.
Well, I want to say it's not that I don't have disconnects. It's that I need to answer these questions.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have bad beliefs, but some of them just don't have any answers. And that's
So
that's where the
analogy
stagnant
to that
water
is
is.
like this. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like a stagnant piece of water, and we got to get the current going again.
Exactly. The analogy is like this. Yazzie, I'm going to pay you $1 million to deliver a letter. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to deliver it to Times Square at 12 noon on the first day of 2016. And I'm going to pay you $1 million.
Okay. You better
Right?
mean it. I'll be there.
And that sounds amazing, right? You're thinking to yourself, like, easy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I'm going to put one stipulation on it. You're just going to wake up in the middle of somewhere. And you're not going to know where that is. Maybe you're going to wake up in the middle of a desert or the middle of a forest, and it could be anywhere on the planet. How does that complicate you achieving that task?
It doesn't.
So if you don't have any idea where you're at, you can achieve it easily?
Well, hopefully there's people nearby.
No people nearby. Nobody for you
How
to talk
can there
to.
be no people?
It's just going to be in the middle of let's just call it the middle of a forest somewhere.
Okay.
And you're just going to wake up, and you're going to look around, and you're going to have no idea where you're at.
Well, I'm going to have to set the intention to find myself some people and walk towards them.
It would be much, much, much more difficult to deliver that letter, wouldn't it?
Yes.
That's the point. If you don't know where you're at, it is so hard to get where you're going, even if you know where you're going.
Yeah.
So it's extremely important to identify where you're at and where you're going as clearly as you possibly can. And that's what these are designed to do, is to get clear on both sides.
That's awesome. But you have 6?
I do have 6.
Good, because I only have 5 written down.
I know. The 6th one we're only going to give to the people who are already currently members.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's more fun that way. So, do you have any questions on those at all?
No, this is great. This is perfect. This helps me in 3 different aspects of my life.
Like immediately?
Immediately, like this second. Like by the end of tonight, I will have some serious direction.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Jen?
Well, I've pretty much already been through these questions and come out the other side, and yeah, I had a lot of hang-ups in most of these areas, and you know, that final realization of that it's my choice is huge. Whatever I want to choose at any moment in time is huge. And it just comes with a sense of peace and puts me in a place of just allowing life to come in based on what I've chosen versus trying to force it. And,
well, it's also like these events, right? These events just kind of keep happening to us. And before in my life, and sometimes still, the event happens and I kind of go into the old mode where I kind of like freak out and I'm like, oh no, like what now? Right? But mostly these days, the event happens and I choose to react to it differently, and I kind of have a much different outcome just simply by my reaction to events. And you can either choose to be a victim of your circumstance and play that role, or you can choose to empower yourself, know that not only are you the problem, but you're also the solution. And with that information, that means that whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever it is, whatever hardships are happening, it happens to everybody. It might not be the exact same hardship, but the event is the same. And if you choose to do something different, if you choose to start asking better questions, then you'll start finding better answers. And when you start finding better answers, you'll start finding better results. And I'm not just talking about for your business. I'm talking about for your entire life, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
If you want to know how you're doing in life, just look at the results right here, right now. Look around in your life, and what's your financial situation? What's your health situation? What's your friendship and relationship situation? What's your business situation? What's your job situation? What, look at the results that are in your life. That's right. The results that have showed up in your life are the choices that you've made, and this is what it's producing. Is this what you want, or do you want something different? Because you can choose something different, literally. Literally, you can choose something different.
I agree with that. 100%.
Okay. Oh. Sorry. So, that's about all I've got for you guys this evening. Unless you're on our team, and then we're going to continue this, and just watch for an email. And I'm going to send you a link for a private hangout that we're going to do. And just kind of go through more in depth, not only the sixth belief that could easily be sabotaging everything that you're doing. You're going to want to know about that for sure. But also more in depth on how to change them, and how to redefine them, and how to reinsert new information so that the old routine, the old program doesn't keep running around in circles. It's like a feedback loop that just kind of keeps doing like this. Those that don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it, right? So how long are you going to continue doing the same thing, getting the same results, crying ouch? Right?
I've done it for 35 years-ish, and I can tell you it's a very painful and expensive process. And it's all based on your own choice. You know? It really is. I cannot even begin to express how important this is. And it's not just a little thing. It shows up everywhere in your life. And this one little thing impacts not only your life, but your friends' lives, your parents' lives, your children's lives, and everybody else around you. It's so wide and broad. It is just truly amazing when I think about it and when I look at it, at how much I have led destructively and how many people's lives I've affected in that fashion. And no more. No more. It's time to start switching it around.
Yep. And that all starts with getting around the right people, right? Getting around. Aaron always said that you are like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Like your friends, your 5 friends. And that could be the person that you're in a relationship with. It could be, like Jen, like your kids, you know, because I know that there's quite a wide range of personalities there. It could be the people that you work with. Like maybe you sit in an office for 8 hours a day, and maybe you've got like 6 or 7 people around you that are just complaining and being negative all day, and that just kind of seeps into your mind, even though maybe you're not negative and maybe you don't really complain, but it still goes in. Information still goes in. So be careful who you associate with and for how long you associate with certain people. Because I know some people that are just really good people, but it's like they get a panic attack, but it's not a panic attack, it's a complainer attack. Right? And during those attacks, you just kind of have to like remove yourself so that you don't subject your mind to that level of information. So for you guys on this webcast, I'm going to go ahead and post a link for Think and Grow Rich and the Think and Grow Rich Action Guide when I post the replay tomorrow morning. And that is going to, if you fill it out, it'll change your life. If you read the book and you take it to heart, it'll change your life. 500 millionaires and billionaires can't be wrong, can they?
Don't read it. Don't read it just once. You need to read that book about 100 times.
There is a secret in that book.
Yes, there is.
And the author even says so. There is a secret.
What's that? What was that movie? Oh, God. The cowboy one with... Oh, what was that?
You narrowed it down.
One thing. Oh, God, I could see him, but I just... The name of it is just, like, gone. Anyway, the whole thing, the movie boiled down to that one thing. You know? Life boils down to that one thing, and when you figure it out, your whole life changes.
We've been talking about it this whole webcast. Did you pick up on it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, I know.
Well,
I know what that one thing is.
No. And maybe you guys should just go listen to some James Earl Jones. You guys who know who Darth Vader is?
Seriously?
The voice of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Do yourselves a favor and go YouTube James Earl Jones, and it's like The Greatest Secret or The Secret or something like that. And it doesn't have anything to do with the movie The Secret at all. At all. But if you listen to it, he'll tell you the secret. You might not believe it. Belief. And if you don't, you might take a look at your results and ask yourself some better questions.
He was
With
also
that-
the voice of Mufasa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that movie was City Slickers.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
seriously? That's not a cowboy movie.
I might watch that tonight. That was a great movie.
City Slickers. So, I'm going to leave you guys with something that you really should just live your life by. I love you guys.
Thanks for being.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Abundant Lifestyle Family and Formula LiveCast. Give me just 1 second here. I gotta find something real quick, and then we'll get ready to go. Okay, let's see here. What do you got here?
It's protein shake.
Okay, I just gotta download this real quick. Study guide for tonight. Let's see here.